Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Shishina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, while Grand Bahama continues to get its share of the cruise business, an executive with a major cruise line says all is not well when it comes to the country's cruise business. He is cautioning that changes must be made if the country is to survive in the competitive market. Sabrina Brown has our top story.
Carnival Corporation is the largest cruise company in the world, with 9 cruise lines and 101 ships. Senior Vice President of Port Destination Development, Giora Israel, says Carnival continues to do big business in the Bahamas. However, it is the only major cruise company that doesn't have its own private island facility in this country.
Disney has one in Gorda Key that they call Castaway Key. Royal Caribbean has one they call Coco Key. NCL one has one called Little Stirrup Key. Princess has one, Princess Key in Bannerman Town in South Eleuthera. Holland America has Half Moon Key next to Rum Key.
The Carnival executive says they are now in discussions with the Bahamas government on this issue, and this could mean good news for Grand Bahama.
Why not to do it, for example, in Freeport? And then we have the benefit and obviously the impact of being on a major island with a lot of already existing infrastructure. So we are in discussion with government on that.
Many of Carnival's ships call at Grand Bahama on a weekly basis, but Israel maintains the position that the Freeport harbor is not the most suitable for cruise vessels. Some years back, there were talks about Carnival constructing a new cruise port in Williamstown, but that is no longer on the drawing board.
The questions that came about that the area is not big enough, there were some other claims on that piece of land. So we have decided that it would be better not to do it there. One of the things that Grand Bahama Island has, and I don't have to tell you that it's a big island. And if the island and if Grand Bahama, true to its vision, will grow and expand, why not to stretch the island? Why not push it more to the east?
As some provisions of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement relative to the exemption of business license fees and real property tax are set to expire in August of this year, Israel, who is also a member of the Board of Executives at the Grand Bahama Shipyard, believes tax exemptions provided under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement gives Grand Bahama a competitive edge.
The benefits out of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement were a key reason to build the Grand Bahama Shipyard with all its economical engine to Grand Bahama there. So, business needs to be encouraged.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, one business operator on Taino Beach is happy because he has gotten a fair share of the cruise business this week. This is spring break and hundreds of cruise ship passengers are descending on Taino Beach. They are hoping this level of business can be sustained in the months ahead. Natalia Hall reports.
A site that has been around for over 5 years is now booming with hundreds of tourists from all over the world. Taino Beach Club is offering many activities for visitors on the islands, such as kayaking, tug-of-war games, Taino performances, and much more. The club is not only benefiting tourists but residents as well, as it has provided a number of job opportunities. Owner Ed Gates say the area that was once a ghost town has now transformed.
Nothing was happening here, and now after our efforts have paid off, we've brought an economy to this area. If you look at all the jobs that have been created here, not just people who work for us, but people who work on the beach and do the wood carving, selling the t-shirts, and jet ski operators, and so forth. Guests who come here have a very long time to relax and enjoy themselves. They're not rushed. They come here and they spend a good 4 or 5 hours on the beach. And that's what most of them seem to want. They don't want to rush into a place, and before they can get good and relax, they have to rush back to the harbor. So here they can do that. And that's one of the reasons we've been successful.
Visitors say Grand Bahama is the ultimate vacation spot.
We decided to come to the beach because where we're from, the beach is not this pretty. Like, we have seaweed everywhere and the water's really dark, but here it's gorgeous and we're not used to this.
What are you going to tell your friends and your family back home about the Bahamas?
I'm going to tell them that they should come to the Bahamas if they want to have safe, fun, fun in a beautiful location with really nice people.
Beautiful, beautiful women, beautiful people. Everybody's great.
Everybody's nice.
Lovely. Paradise on earth.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love
Take care.
It's Talia Hall, 7S Network News.
Well, members of the Constitutional Commission on their final leg of their educational campaign on Grand Bahama, the Commission held a forum at the Foster B. Pistina Center to discuss the 4 proposed gender equality bills. Kimberly Mullings has the details.
It would appear that Grand Bahamians now have a good understanding of the 4 proposed bills, which deal with citizenship and gender equality. The Constitutional Commission held another forum in Grand Bahama, this time in the Freeport area. The presenters were retired Justice Ruby Nottage and attorney Wentz Martin. Reverend Wayne Carey attended the forum and says he appreciated the presentations, noting that they offered much needed clarity. However, he had some concerns on the issue of gender equality.
You have to be very careful in terms of, when we talk about the equality, it's explained, simplified, right? And it's explained that way. But when you look at it, I think it could, one of the bills in that bill, when we talk about equality, it can open up the door for so many things. When the Bahamians or the Bahamas were to want to interact with other nations, per se, they are saying to us that you have to have this equality in your, in your country. You can't discriminate. And so, we have to find out what that equality is. Now, when we talk about equal treatment under the law, I mean, I'm all for the for the equal treatment.
Also attending the forum were students from Jack Hayward High School. Senior Ajay Oliver says he didn't know much about the Bahamas' constitution.
I came here with an open mind because I do not really know that much about our constitution. I didn't know the more deeper things, I would say, because we don't really get taught that in our everyday curriculum.
Oliver hopes gender equality prevails.
Despite of our sex, I feel like a man and a female should both have their equal abilities and they should all have the same rights.
It is a vital part of our Bahamian society and it is not taught in our schools, which is a tragedy, and we should implement it in our schools. The foreign students that are in our schools should know more about our constitution. And not just the foreign students, the Bahamian students as well. We do not know who are Bahamians and how we become Bahamians.
Most Bahamians don't really now know about the constitution, that's not their main focus. I was really interested because I've never been to one, but it's really informative and I got a lot of information. If more people actually came out, it would have been successful. I mean, it is successful, but it would educate us more and we'd have more knowledge about our country.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Kimberly. Well, members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force meeting in a leadership seminar this morning. Officers were encouraged to remain focused on the task ahead. Megan Shepard was there.
Commissioner of Police for the Bahamas, Alison Greenslade, issuing a comprehensive crime overview for the country earlier this week, noting that crime has seen a significant decrease. On Friday afternoon, Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Northern Bahamas, Emerick Seymour, meeting with the press to note that he is pleased with the work being done by the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Crime in the Royal Bahamas would have decreased by an overall 18%, and that's Bahamas-wide. And the only challenge we've had, because we've had decreases in all of our categories of crime. That's crimes against the persons, crimes against the property, with the exception of, and he mentioned murder. Okay, murder was our Achilles heel for this year, but all other acts of criminality, crimes against the persons, crimes against the Bahamas, have seen significant decreases.
He adds that in 2014, the murder count for Grand Bahama was 10, and of those 10, 5 still remain unsolved. But he is optimistic that these outstanding matters will be resolved.
We would have solved 5 of the 10. I'm looking for 3 suspects in 3 of the other ones, 3 named suspects. We're zeroing on 1 right now that'll make 6, and of course we have two other ones. So there are 2 outstanding. I can tell you there are 2 outstanding ones that we're still working with. But we have 3 named suspects in 3 of the 5 that are outstanding. So we would have solved 5. We have 3 suspects in 3 of the others, and of course we so 2 would be the one that are giving us some some problems.
Two of those outstanding cases, he adds, are that of Americans Anthony Kyle Welsh and Canadian Edgar George Dart. But in 2014, Grand Bahama made significant progress in the war on drugs with several major drug finds. ACP Seymour even calling them historic.
We've seen some significant drug seizures in Grand Bahama. Last year has been definitely a record-breaking year for us because we continue to have our law enforcement arms out, resources out to curtail these acts of criminality as they happen. Grand Bahama is, we've seen it over and repeatedly, is perhaps could be considered a transshipment point. We've seen it, our evidence suggests that.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The importance of training underscored during a special luncheon today. This as a newly established technical school is raising a scholarship fund for students hoping to further their education in the specialized field. The guest speaker was the Minister of Immigration and Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Fred Mitchell. A cross-sector of the community gathered at the Ruby's restaurant for a special luncheon aimed at driving a scholarship fund for students who are interested in furthering their education. The guest of honor was the Minister of Immigration and Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, giving high praises to President of Pioneer Technical Center, Edney Anderson.
In my official capacity, I want to commit to engaging the private sector to see how there can be synergies with the work he's doing, so that those who come out of the school can go straight into productive work.
Minister Mitchell says Bahamians must be competitive if industry is to survive on Grand Bahama.
Mr. Anderson preaches about excellence, commitment, and consistency to his students. It is training which is most helpful for Grand Bahama, where, for example, welding is a skill that is being imported into the country from overseas.
While underscoring the significance of training, he told those in attendance that relevance in training and what is relevant in the workforce are important.
We need to help him and his team to enable his dream by assuring him of official support, policy support, and, most importantly, enabling access to capital for his enterprise.
President of Pioneer Technical Center, Edney Anderson, says every child should have the opportunity to learn and make a living for himself. That's the reason for a scholarship fund.
Our scholarship fund will not be only isolated to this particular school. It will be primarily designed to help our students. But if somebody else out there need help, and there was availability, we would help them.
The school has 19 students so far and is already gaining community support from the Grand Bahama Port Authority as well as those in the industrial sector.
Sarah St. George and Mr. Ian Roll saw the need to sponsor and give us tax write-off and incentive to put the school fee down to $250. We then went to the Grand Bahama the Shipyard, Bahama Rock, Star Earl. These company has pledged to continue to support us with maybe equipment and material for our trainees.
Minister Mitchell left these words of encouragement.
You can begin in one socioeconomic group at your birth, live through trying circumstances, and end up being a success story.
Still on the education beat, a local institution doing its part to develop a more skilled workforce as it staged a major event Wednesday targeting high school students. John Davis Roll has this report.
With Grand Bahama's industrial sector poised to expand, the demand for a more skilled labor force in the highly technical and vocational fields is on the increase. The Total Education Center on Grand Bahama is attempting to be the catalyst in preparing youngsters to take advantage of the job opportunities which lie ahead. A major workshop held on the grounds of the facility in Hawksbill brought together industry professionals and students from both the private and public institutions. Administrator T.C. Charlie Softly Rubens.
This is great. You know, Grand Bahama is known for a technical place here. You know, they're trying to build tourism, but you know what we know about it is the barcodes, the syntax, the container port. You know, the shipyard, and that's what got Grand Bahama moving now. So most of our kids that are not going away to school, they are now like to study some of the things that we are offering.
During the workshop, youngsters were exposed to a variety of career options. This TEC executive Alfred Forbes says great emphasis is being placed on empowering males and helping them develop into productive citizens.
Our target is mainly for young men, but we're encompassing, you know, male and female as well. And hopefully through this workshop today, we would, you know, be able to harness some of the talents that you know, not seen, or some of the ones that are lost. And we're hoping that this would give them some sort of inspiration and motivation to seek employment in the technical and vocational fields here in Grand Bahama.
Selena Hall-Glinton notes that with the support of all industry stakeholders, they are well on their way in creating a workforce that is skilled, employable, and in demand.
Our goal is to bring together, with specific emphasis on those students that are graduating high school, or those persons that are seeking a correct path or correct change, bringing them together with the employment sector of the island, the industrial sector, and other companies in the island. And so we have representatives from persons such as the container port, the shipyard, polymers, all the different organizations who are coming in and talking to them about what type of jobs they have in their organizations.
Joan Davis-Rowe, ZNS Network News.
Finally, in news this evening, the Royal Bahamas Police Force is actively involved in the truancy prevention program on Grand Bahama at Genesis Academy. That's a school formerly known as Program Shore. The program is geared towards students who are having difficulties in school. ASP Henry Rolls says the program is alive and well, and it is moving forward.
To assist these young persons who can't fit or seems not to be able to fit in the mainstream of the school system, thus resulting in us assisting the school here with these children. However, we also understand that they come out of the community where there's social issues affecting their life and their well-being, and as a result of that, what we do is we go back in the community and find out how best we can assist them from the home standpoint.
Principal of Genesis Academy, Ricardo Major, says the program is very helpful for students.
To come to the facts that all of our children are not going to make it in the mainstream, and this is an opportunity to pull them out and be able to get them to help the intervention earlier. I think one of the things that's been happening is we've not been paying attention to programs like this to be able to get the children the intervention early enough to be able to help them. We're waiting till it's far too long, till they're really extreme. So we're so glad to have the police and also the Defense Force come alongside of us to partner with us.
Now, organizers say this is a community effort and they are encouraging more persons to get involved. Stay with us. Ricardo Liborn has a check on sports when we come back.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sports with Ricardo Liborn. This medallion goes out to my cousin Fred Cooper and the Grand Bahama Reservists. They're getting together tomorrow on Peel Street. They say at 12 noon, and Fred says it's going to be a good time, so you guys check them out. The Pacers of Walter Parker Primary School on the track Thursday. Talia Hall was at that finish line.
The Pacers of Walter Parker Primary School on the track in heated competition for their annual sports day. The kids in their green, yellow, and blue house colors ready and excited for a day filled with competition and fun. The parents even came out and gave it a try. School principal Jacqueline Pinder says she's just encouraging her little Pacers to do their very best.
We want to get them prepared for the upcoming inter-school sports, which is in April. And of course, we know that sports is a great discipline. We have great coaches here at Walter Parker. Our teachers have worked hard for this competition.
And the house captains were all geared up and excited as well.
We're just telling our children to just work hard and just press, and whatever happens, we're just looking to do our very best.
First today, if we do come first, and we know we're going to come first, this is going to be our fourth win. We have three straight wins so far, and we're looking forward to the fourth one. And how we prepared for this track meet was we went all out. We just cared our athletes and we cheered them on, we just boost them up, and we got a little secret that we usually...
What is the secret?
That's why it's a secret. Can't tell you that. It's an ancient Chinese secret for our athletes.
Italia Hall, ZNS Total Sports.
Well, folks, the Grand Bahama Schools track and field athletes were pretty busy over the past couple of weeks. You see, Kimberly Mullings is at the track on Monday, and the B3A's president was in town, and he spoke about the championships.
Athletes on Grand Bahama Island have been extremely active with nationals and island sports 2 weekends back-to-back. Carifta trials are coming up this weekend. B3A's president Mike Sands attended the track championships at the sports complex over the weekend, and needless to say, he loved what he saw.
Very, very impressed and pleased with what I see. I'm not sure what the times were, but the competition has been very, very keen, and I'm really enjoying myself. It's the first time in a number of years that I've been able to come to Grand Bahama just to enjoy a track meet.
Sands adds that without a doubt, athletes from Grand Bahama are capable, as always, of making the 2015 track and field Carifta team, and he's looking forward to their performance.
The track and field is alive and kicking in the Family Islands and including Grand Bahama. And of course, you know, next weekend is our Carifta trials, and from what I saw today and for the past day or two, I think the competition now saw the weekend is going to be very, very interesting for those athletes trying to make the Carifta team.
The Carifta trials are set for this weekend in New Providence at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Total Sports.
And don't forget that our fun run and walk is tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. You have up until about 7:30 or so tonight to get here to the government complex. Register Phil Page and the crew on making sure it happens. Phil Marsh will walk, and so will Keith Sumo. I'm going to be out there as well. Anybody else walking? They ain't signed up yet. Okay, we understand how this thing goes. We don't. That's what.